is member-supported KUNV HD2 Las Vegas, the broadcast service of UNLV.
I guess that's pretty good. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're enjoying a beautiful day here on a Sunday. And welcome to everybody that's listening all across the country. Let me pop in my disc right here to make sure everything is copacetic on this Sunday, the 7th. But so much has been going on. Unbelievable, so much has been going on. So let's see what we got here. Push that button and push that button and make sure everything is working. Is it going to be working? There we go. Absolutely. We are listener supported. 91.5, the Rebel HD2, KUNV Las Vegas, the broadcast services of UNLV. You are now with Air America and Russell Mays. That's me. Wow, what a week. Unbelievable, what a week. I am just reading right here. Talk about class. I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump is the man. He is the man no matter what. States right here, Trump puts aside all the BS that Macon Ripiano's attacks on him and America aside and congratulates the team on the World Cup win. Dude, that's class. Simple as that. That is sheer class. These people have no other it's fantastic that they won. It really is. But why would she have to taint the glory of the win by her stupidity? Simple as that. Trump just blew her out of the water with that. He said congratulations. He knows it was a good thing. He loves what is happening for America. And despite all the left-wing idiots out there, he steps up to the plate and does the right thing. Way to go, Trump, baby. Way to go. Way to go. That's all I got to say is way to go. Okay, moving right along. We're sitting here in Las Vegas, Nevada on a Sunday. Why is this saying 2 p.m.? Is their clock way off? Their clock is way off. There we go, 3 p.m. Man, I tell you, things are going really good here. It's 100 degrees outside. Very nice day today. Very nice day. Yes, and if I don't talk about the earthquake that hit Las Vegas yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? It must have been the day before. It just totally blew everybody away. Absolutely blew them away. They felt it in Phoenix, Arizona. That's how far away this earthquake shook, rattled, and rolled. And the good thing about it, let's take the good thing, the good thing. Yes, the good thing about the earthquake is it hit in a sparsely populated area where when the building shook and stuff, it didn't do a lot of road damage or anything else, because Northridge in 94, January 17th, 1994, when the Northridge earthquake hit, that was a 7.1 earthquake. That hit right in the city. And look at the damage and the deaths it created. That's because it was in the city. This one happened out and about, so the structures were smaller. They didn't, how do you want to say it, withstand, or they stood the earthquake a lot better than some of the other buildings did. But that's okay. I'm glad no one was hurt or killed. It makes a good thing. So much has been happening since I talked to you last. We had the 4th of July. We had the Antifa beating, the Kaepernick idiotic stupidity thing going on. Starbucks, a whole plethora of stupid things going on. I'll tell you how dumb things are. The press, CNN, 4th of July, covering all these shows. Wow, what a glorious show we're having over here in New York and California, and look at all the fireworks that are going off. Wow, ooh, they're spending all this money on that. Refusing to show the 4th of July celebration speech that Trump did in Washington, D.C. 2.9 million people showed up to watch this display. Unbelievable. Trump really knows how to do it. He knows how to make the people happy. He knows everything. I'll give you an example. They're complaining that he's spending this money to make a 4th of July parade with tanks and stuff. And of course, the tanks have the metal things on the track so it doesn't tear up the road. Yes, they are heavy, and yes, it might do some damage. Okay, no big deal. They can't fix the roads anyway. But they're complaining about the money spent. Oh, why is he doing that? Then Mr. Blasio, whatever, New York, is going to have a ticker tape parade for the soccer team. Think about this, folks. New York City is going to do a ticker tape parade because the women's soccer team won the World Cup for the United States. Their captain trashed the United States, trashed Trump. The left and the Democrats complained about Trump celebrating our Independence Day. They complained because he was spending too much money. Now they turn around and do exactly the same thing, but this time it's for the soccer team. I don't get these people. If they're going to... It's okay if they do it, But it's not okay if anybody else does it. Especially when it comes to Trump. He outdoes them time and time and time again. No, never ending. It just irritates them to no end. He gets over on them over and over and over again. I love it. I just absolutely love it. It just warms my heart. So, over and over and over and over again, that's all they do is complain about that man. Let them complain away. I was listening to some numbers also, how his approval ratings 47% and how his disapproval ratings is 50% of likely voters. This is on Fox News, who used to be so good until they started sliding left and started hating America. Fox News is starting to slant the numbers. When are they going to learn? These numbers that they're putting out is geared to get the American people to vote against Trump. That's why they're doing it. And the left, including Fox now, is trying to manipulate the vote already by putting out these numbers. Remember what happened in 2016? They're doing it again. Do they ever learn? You know, I had this conversation with a couple of friends of mine. The only thing that our government and the people that are in charge, presumably, and how they try to manipulate and control people, no matter what kind of lies they feed them. There's one factor they can never, ever get away from, and that's human nature. Somebody will always tell the truth eventually. It always happens. They always get... And it's funny because the police, our federal enforcement, whatever it be, NSA, the FBI, CIA, your local police officers, your sheriffs, whatever, they know. In the case of a murder case, doesn't matter. Somebody eventually will talk. They know this. Unless it's a murder-suicide, and they understand those cases already. But if somebody kills somebody, somebody has seen or they will figure it out eventually. Through history, it's been this way. I mean, when Brutus killed Caesar, okay, the city found out about it and they revolted. It does not matter. Human nature will win out every time. The only people that do not win out are those who kowtow and refuse to stand up for themselves. That day is coming, especially when it gets around to Antifa. They are trying to pass a law. That's another thing. They're trying to pass a law where if you're protesting, you cannot wear a mask. That's a darn good law, I think. And the reason why is if you're so uppity about fascism and changing history or whatever, and you're so proud to do that, let people know. Uncover your face. Let's see who you are. So, this came to me for an idea. There is a new tracking thing that police can use now. It's like a paintball. So if they're in a car chase or something like that and they need to follow that car, they shoot and hit this car with this paint. Does not come off, it's very difficult to get off, that kind of stuff. So they know where that car is, what car was involved in whatever. So I suggest for people to go to these marches, these Antifa idiots, do not get involved with anything. Just pick one or two of them out, follow them through. Eventually, they have to go back to whatever vehicle they came with. Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they picking one or two of these people out, following them to find out who they are, license plate number, or a bus, if a bus is carrying them, that bus will have information on that. Follow these people, find out who they are. Probably take you right back to George Soros, you know. Why not? Look what they did to Andy Ngo. Oh my God. You know, that poor guy. And everybody's touting. This is what's really sad about this. This is how bad the press is. They are making it a big case because he was a journalist. And he was a gay journalist covering the protest. They beat him up. But everyone says they beat him up because he was gay. They had no idea this guy was gay unless he told them. They beat him up because he was covering the violence that Antifa was doing. That's why they beat him up, sprayed him with stuff, threw milkshakes on him with liquid whatever was in it. I watched one thing that a guy threw at him and it hit him hard and it bounced right off. So the thing about it is, and I have to agree with Wayne Allen Root, war now. I have to agree with him 100%. He should sue the living pants off of these people. The city, the state, everybody. Just sue them because the cops did nothing. And what makes me mad about it is when somebody on the right who is trying to make this good and bring it out, and the cops do nothing, no one says a word. But you get a guy that robs a convenience store, grabs the cop's gun in his car, the gun misfires and shoots through the door, then gets out and attacks the cop, turns around and attacks him. The cop shoots him, and then it's, oh my God, Black Lives Matter. Holy no. You know, I'm sorry. Everybody is gone off the deep end on all of this. I was listening to a Ronald Reagan speech earlier today. He was talking about immigrants coming to this country, one and all. Bring them in. Come in. And everybody's posting it. See, even Ronald Reagan is talking about the immigrants. Yes, he is. But nobody listened to that speech. He says, when you come to America, come and become an American. He did not say, come illegally and sit and suck off the system all day long. No. He said, come to America, apply your trade and your talents, become an American citizen, and be a part of this great country. That's what everybody's missing on this. That's what the left is missing. They don't want that. If they really wanted to take care of the immigration system down on the border, they can, with no problems at all. Done deal. We've just about had every Congress and senator down there on the border. They all know what's going on down there. AOC, when she went down there, what an idiot this woman is. I'm sorry. She's gone. She's, 6 cans shy of a six-pack. She has nothing there. And when she does not go into the facilities, and she does not talk to anybody, and there's no videotape of anything she's doing down there, my God, this world is filled with cameras. They caught Jussie Smollett on the street corner with a camera, with the 2 guys walking back and forth where they were planning everything. They got that on video camera somewhere. And you can't tell me when she's complaining that, well, this is what they do when congressional committee, she can't use that word associated with her. When congressional committee comes down here, this is how they act. You can't tell me that when the proverbial congressional committee comes down there and there isn't one camera. Come on. Not one camera showed anything of what she was doing down there. I doubt she even got out of the vehicle. That footage is where she's walking there. That was probably going into some burger factory or somewhere where she's going to complain about the work conditions over, to get a burger or something. Unbelievable. People, are you really... The left cannot be this stupid. They, honest to God, cannot be this stupid. But I'm telling you something, people. They sure do think you are. They really think you're stupid. And they are playing that for everything they've got. They are counting on your non-compliance to actually take credit and credibility. They want you sitting in your room, texting on your phone, with your head in the sand, doing nothing. That's what they want. Then once every 2 years, they want you to go to the ballot box and vote for them so they can get your money again, and then they'll give you enough to get a Obama phone to go back and sit in your little room again. That's all they want. They could care less about anything else. They're still complaining that the Russians hacked the elections. That is so difficult to hack the president. I'll tell you which elections they hacked. They hacked the DNC's primary. So Hillary was being beaten her pants off by Bernie Sanders. That's a good one. And they totally trashed that man. And they know it too. So that's where the collusion happened. Also with these manipulations. I mean, all right. Wow. So much. There is just so much going on with these elections and these political people. Trump has thrown a wrench into everything they were doing. Granted, what made them mad is they were ready to implement their socialistic, communistic, Marxist programs as soon as Hillary got in. they're just going to have to wait another 6 years. And they're going to push and manipulate and do everything they can to win the election after Trump is finished his terms. Okay, folks. We're going to be doing quite a bit of stuff here. I've got a lot of lineup. Kamala Harris is off her rocker. She's crazy. Let's see. The Iran increased its uranium enhancement. That's something will blow your mind, too. Wait until we get into that can of worms. Of course, we are now the world's largest oil producer, and that will get into another can of worms here in a few minutes. What other good things happened? Joey Chestnut. Got to talk about Joey Chestnut. Ate 71 hot dogs in 15 minutes to win this year again. Last year he ate 74. Missed his old record by only 3 hot dogs, slowing down at his old age. Can you imagine that? That's 71 hot dogs and 71 buns in 15 minutes. Dude, that's on the verge of gross. Unbelievable. But he's famous for eating hot dogs. I mean, if you want to be famed, there's a good thing for you. Fame is a great thing. So, okay, we got to turn ourselves to a little bit of a quick sponsorship here. And we're going to be right back. You are listening to KUNV HD2 Rebel.
The U.S. Census Bureau is looking for individuals to work part-time with the upcoming 2020 census. Information and application details at 2020census.gov/jobs.
Okay, we're back. We don't want to be the theme from, hey, he's American hero. That's Donald Trump. He's definitely American hero. I'm going to have them fix his computer. For some reason, it's not firing off like it should. But we'll figure that out one of these days. But like I said, we got a lot going on here. Good old Colin Kaepernick and Nike. He must hate Nike. And Nike must hate him. But they're trying to sell shoes. Okay, this is what I can't figure out. He goes in and tells Nike that he's oppressed by the Betsy Ross flag. And it's racist and slavery and ooh, like he was out there being beaten with a whip and it was all his doing, and so they can't do that. All right, Mr. Colin Kaepernick, did you or did you not sign a contract? And I will guarantee that within that contract, it states that he is not supposed to do anything to smear the name of Nike. Think about it, folks. If Nike wanted to get rid of Colin Kaepernick, they can right then and there. If he told them that the shoes that they were putting out was racist, that means he trashed the company. So if the company did not fire him, that means Nike put him up to it, just so they could get the free publicity. more power to Nike, I guess. If Colin Kaepernick wants to take the blunt of it all and get paid his millions and millions of dollars to trash the United States again, especially since England is the one that brought all the slaves here on a continuous basis. Think about it. We did not have the infrastructure to go over and get the slaves. We did not have that infrastructure. If you look in history, all the slaving ships were built by England. They were the empire of the world. We were a colony at that time. We were a boil on their butt. That's what we were. We had hard enough time just building our own country at that time. But nobody thinks about that. So they were the ones that went over and got the slaves. Even blacks were turning other blacks in and selling their own kind to make money off their own kind. Same thing with the Chinese and the Asians. They brought them over as slaves. The Irish were brought over as slaves. Europeans were brought over with slaves. Look up in history the meaning of Shanghai. Think about this. Shanghai was derived in San Francisco, where people would go in and they would grab them off the streets, drunks or whatever it may be, hit them off the head. Next thing they know, they woke up on some Chinese junk or some Russian trawler or English barge as a slave on the ships. It's our past. It's what made this country strong. Because it is in our past. And if you think that our government should give reparations to the slaves or to the blacks because of the slaves, then I have this to say. Every black person then should have to pay everybody's family that died in the Civil War freeing the slaves. 600,000 people died to free the slaves. 600,000 Americans. So are you going to pay the families for that? The lives they gave to give you your freedom? This is history, folks. Stop twisting it for your own means. Take your schools back. They're trying to rewrite history, and it's not working. Well, yeah, it is. People are now believing that we didn't land on the moon. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Something that really bugged me, Starbucks. There was a story about Starbucks that I believe there was like 6 officers in the Starbucks having coffee. And a barista asked them to leave because they made a customer feel unsafe. Are you joking? Unsafe? Starbucks came and apologized. They did a very good apology, as a matter of fact. And that baristas, and the police officers did not want that person fired either, because she was only doing her proverbial job. The thing that I want to know is I want to know who it was that complained. Because you know, as soon as that person complained about the cops, they were gone. They had a chip on their shoulder, and they wanted to get rid of it badly, and they just hate the cops. No matter what you do, there's going to be idiots out there that just hate you. There's nothing you can do about it. No matter how good or how nice you are, there will be people that hate you. That's part of our world. Even Jesus was hated so much that they crucified him. His own people crucified him. So the question is do you have a backbone to stand up for yourself? Or are you going to be like one of the Antifa people and put a mask over and scream and holler and then run away? As long as the mob mentality is around like that, people will get away with it. And as long as our politicians allow or force the cops to stand down and not do their job, it's going to continue to grow. That's what they want to do. So, why don't we know that person's name? They're the one that started the whole thing. They should be the one standing up there on the platform saying, I do not like these people because of whatever their reason may be. Okay. Moving again, let's go into... Alright, let's do the census. Here we go again with the census. Citizenship. It's all about who's going to get the money for what. The Democrats say that if they put the citizenship question on the census paper, it will keep illegals from doing the census. Okay. Which means they will not get their funding. Because they are funded by so many people that live in the city, so many people that work in the city, so many people that participate within the communities, that are citizens of the United States. It will count also people with visas that are working there too. That's why they don't want that question on there, even though the question was on there before. But the news keeps on saying that the Supreme Court blocked Trump's trying to put that question on there. That's not what they did. They did not block it. They put it on hiatus. They didn't make a decision on that question. Because the question is not unconstitutional. As Ronald Reagan said in his speech, bring your immigrants here and become an American. Become a citizen. You hate your country so much that you're willing to travel 3,000 miles dragging your kid that will probably die on the trek to get up here so you can make our country into the very country that you left? I don't think so. You come here and then you're spending $5,000? Where are you getting this money at? If we have to feed you and clothe you and give you free health care and housing and stuff, you just gave the cartels $5,000 to come here. You can't take $50 and put it in your pocket? Take it one step further. Mexico is making millions off these caravans because these people are spending money coming through. But they have a real problem. They really do. Because the tariffs are going to be enacted if they don't do anything. They're trying to do something. But are they doing it to show, to keep Trump from putting the tariffs on? Or are they actually, honest to God, working on it? And so knowing that the American people have a mindset of 6 months. After 6 months, you forget about everything. Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot about that. That's how they get away with all this stuff. That's why you see on TV our darling politicians flip-flopping so much from year to year to year to year to year to year to what they're saying. Drives me nuts. Okay. Moving right along, Miss Kamala Harris. She wants to give $100 billion to blacks for housing. You racist woman. You want to segregate the black community that way? You want to separate the blacks from the rest of America like that? You want to give $100 billion so people can buy a house? That's what Jimmy Carter did. But at least Jimmy Carter did it for everybody. He damn near destroyed the real estate market by doing it, but at least he was even keeled about it across the board. Everybody could get that money. Kamala Harris doesn't want anybody else but the blacks to get that money. And the reason why she's doing that is because she needs the black vote. She just said she was Jamaican. So if she's Jamaican and was born in Jamaica or whatever, how does she know that she's a slave riding a bus? All that kind of good stuff. That woman is a liar, in my mind. So, she has to become president to give you that $100 billion. Think about that, people. They will say anything to become president. But they are talking about the warm and fuzzies. They're not talking about what they will do to help you out. They're not talking about, why don't you take that $100 billion and open up a business within the black community and give everybody jobs. People want to work. People want to survive. They want to make their own family the way they are. That's what America is about. You want to support your own family. You want to feel pride because you're doing something. If it's handed to you, it's not going to be worth nothing. She just is saying that, just trying to get elected. Unbelievable. The Democratic Party and the left and the socialist left have no future for America. They were expecting the jobs report to be about 170,000 new jobs added last month. It came out to be 224,000. Was it 224 or 242,000? I'll have to look it up. I'll just say 242. It sounds better. 242,000 people went to work last month. Made every left-leaning economist mad as hell. So, we have a 3.6 unemployment, one of the lowest in ever. And the press and the left and all the politicians running for president are saying, we're going to get jobs for everybody. What are you going to do to get jobs for everybody? Trump has got them all filled. How are you going to make it better? What are you going to do to make it better? All they can come up with is we're going to get you free health care. Our health care is ruined. Wait a minute. You're the ones that instituted it in the first place. You said how great this thing is going to be. We have to pass it before we can read it to see what's in it. And there was nothing in it. It ruined everything. Then they tied the ACA into the student loans, so now it's all one big mess, and nobody's going to get anything. Wake up, people. Wake up and smell the crap that is being thrown at you day in and day out by the news media. Facebook, too, is full of bad, false information, propaganda. Unbelievable amount. All right. Going to talk about free speech unless you are an American. You can talk about anything and everything you want unless you're an American talking about freedom. All right, let's do freedom. What is freedom in our country? Freedom is not free health care. Freedom is not a job. Freedom is not a house. Freedom is not a spouse, or children, or cats, dogs, picket fence, car. None of that is freedom. Nothing. Freedom gives you the ability to sleep on the street if you want to sleep on the street. Gives you the ability to destroy your life with drugs or whatever vice that you want to participate in. Freedom gives you the ability to build a business of your own. Freedom gives you the ability to go to the homeless and give them a hand up if you want to. Freedom gives you the ability to kneel and pray to the God you want. Freedom is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whatever makes you happy. If you think communism is your happiness, rock and roll, baby. Do not try and enforce your freedoms on me if your freedom is communism. Do not force your religion on me, Islam or whatever it may be. If I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. If you're a Muslim, then you're a Muslim. We're here all together. But the moment you try to tell me how I should live my life, that's where it stops. Women are complaining about abortions. This is my body and I'm free to do with as I please. Okay? You're free to do it as you please. So you're too stupid to use birth control. Oh, but what about the rape and incest? I didn't know there was 500,000 rapes and incest that all resulted in pregnancy in the United States per year. I didn't know that 90% of the abortions were African Americans. So what they're saying is all those abortions are rape and incest by the African American population? I don't think so. You have the freedom to live your life the way you see fit. We have laws to keep people from violating other people's freedoms. If you break into somebody's house to steal his car, that's violating their freedom. If you think it's funny throwing a milkshake onto a journalist, that's violating his freedom. Freedom is what Trump is giving us back. Where the parents should have done that with these idiot kids they're raising nowadays. 26-year-old AOC has no clue to what's going on in this country, but she sure does spout her mouth off. Anyway, freedom is what we're all about. I do want to make one more little note of interest here, and it's about the Iranians increasing the uranium enhancement above the limit that was set forth in the treaty that Trump pulled out of. Okay, Trump's been in office 2.5 years. He pulled out of the Iran treaty, I think it was, 6-7 months ago. Let's give it a take a few. Because it was a bad deal. Obama gave him $150 billion cash on pallets because you can't freeze cash on pallets. That's why he did it. Never in the history of the world has anybody ever been paid like that before. So, They have just went over their enhancement limit. So Obama made this treaty agreement with Iran that they wouldn't do that. And they said the reason why they're doing it because Trump reneged on a treaty, pulled out of it. Well, let me ask you a question then. How can they go over the limit so fast once the treaty was pulled unless they've been violating the treaty right along, enhancing it right up to the moment, or going over their limit? And now they're just saying, oh yeah, by the way, we're over the limit now. Okay, we're going to do it again in 6 months. They were already doing it. Simple as that. When I was in the service of 77 and 78, got out in 80, but in those years, I actually had to work with Iranians, side by side. They have a different philosophy of life towards Americans then as they do now. It's the same viewpoint. You know how many times I heard the whisper infidel while working with these people, showing them our technology, helping them to learn radar frequencies, weapons controls, aircraft abilities. All I heard them snickering, infidel, stupid Americans, this kind of thing. This was way back when. They have not changed one iota. My personal opinion. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to say, oh, by the way, I have a lot of friends that are Iranians right now. And that's the cop-out everybody uses. I've got friends that are gay, or I've got friends that are black, or I got friends that are Asian, and I got friends that are this and that. Everybody's got friends of every nationality in this planet. That doesn't give the right of somebody calling you something else because of somebody's viewpoints. Why are we so afraid to offend people? You don't go out to offend them unless you're a left socialist. But if you have a viewpoint and that point of view doesn't resonate with somebody else and they get mad at you, that is their right and freedom to get mad at you. But it doesn't give them a right to violate your space with a milkshake or mace or cement or whatever it may be. I basically come down straight out. It's about freedom of this country. We have the freedom to protect our country from those who want to destroy our country. That's what the wall is for, is to protect our country. Never have I seen so many of our elected officials wanting to destroy this country just because they are offended. Oh my. Give you a little history of the proverbial Spanish. Remember the Spanish and the Mayans? Here's a little history for you folks. The Mayans were one of the most intelligent people on the planet at the time. They had huge libraries of knowledge. The Spanish came in and didn't like the way they were doing human sacrifices. So instead of trying to figure out why they were doing human sacrifices, they said that's wrong to kill somebody. So what they did was went in and killed everybody. Go figure. Think about that. America is the melting pot of the world. No other country allows so many other people to come in to become Americans and to make a life for themselves. But yet, now they want to come in and destroy our country. Anyway. My name is Russell Mays. You've been listening to Air America. We're about 30 seconds away from the top of the hour. We are broadcast listener supported, 91.5 the Rebel HD2 KUNV Las Vegas. The broadcast services of UNLV. One of these days I'm going to figure out the live feed to Facebook, but we'll worry about that later. I'll be reposting this a little bit later on. I hope you enjoyed the show quite a bit. If you have any questions, you can always get a hold of me at 702-895-3915. Folks, you have a wonderful day and a very good night. Beautiful.
We are Trent 7 nights a week. We are the Rebel HD2 KUNV listeners.